So, hello everyone. We are glad to see you here today on our special Q&A session with our expert Yehor Slupitskyi. We will talk today about Java coding and everything related to it. We will start from questions you asked before, and you also could leave all your questions here in chat, and our expert will answer them during our meeting. A few words about our today's speaker. He's my colleague, Yehor Slupitskyi. He's the senior software engineer at DataArt. He has 6 years of experience in IT. He's a mentor, technical interviewer, and active participant in the Java community. Also, he's author of Ukrainian YouTube channel, Code of the Universe. So, Yehor, the floor is yours. Let's start.
Hi guys, I'm glad to see you all here. We had some list of questions in our Easy Retro list, and I will go through every question and we'll try to answer for every question. And in the end, you could leave your questions in the chat, and I also will go through and we'll try to answer that. So let's begin. Okay, the first question. What I need to know to become Java developer? What steps should I begin with? Okay, first of all, you should have the intent to be a developer. So if you see that it's used for you and it's interesting sphere, so you can join our community and start to learn Java. So if I will speak about our trainee position in our company, because as Ola said, I am an active mentor, and I had a lot of trainees. And so you should to get a trainee position in our company, you should be familiar with first of all with Java core, with collection in Java, and multithreading, including the concurrency package. Also, you should have some experience with Spring and Hibernate. I suggest to get this experience by developing some pet projects. If you don't have any job, you could create your own pet projects and upload it to GitHub and show somebody just that you have experience with this. Also, it's good to have some experience with Maven or Gradle. GitHub, Git, it's required to with comprehensive understanding. To become a junior developer, you could become junior developer after a successful finishing 3 months in our internship program, and you should have, in the end of this, you should have some experience with cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, or Google platform. I prefer AWS. Actually, our trainee program was developed with using some experience in with getting some experience in AWS. For instance, after 3 months in our company, in internship in our company, you should be familiar with some key services for the AWS, such as EC2, S3 bucket, SQS, SNS, Lambda, and DynamoDB. And actually, the main point is just you should have you should want to be a developer, because if you don't like it, I don't suggest to become a Java developer. So okay, next question. I see that It is the most popular question, but actually I don't know what to say a lot about this, about security. It's what the question is, what resources do you recommend for studying Spring Security? I recommend to I like to use such service as Bildung. I will send a message in our chat. I will send a link for security Spring. There are a lot of different examples how to implement security with Java via this link. So you could try and understand. Actually, I also had a lot of problems with Spring Security when I was junior, even when I was middle. But I got full understanding of Spring Security after I tried a few times to implement it. When I tried to teach my interns to implement this, so when you will try sometimes, you will understand. So. Okay, next question is, what is the future of Java? Okay, actually, this question, I've been hearing this question ever since I began learning Java. It's more than 6 years ago. Actually, a vast number of applications rely on Java as their primary languages, and I honestly can't imagine that what would have to happen for Java to become outdated. The future of programming is increasingly moving to the cloud. So if you are familiar with at least one cloud service provider, such as AWS, Azure, or GCP, and proficient in at least one programming languages like Java, Python, JavaScript, or whatever you want, I suppose you shouldn't have no difficulty with finding employment for at least the next decade, if not longer. So Java continues to evolve with frequent updates and with great ecosystem. So I suppose it is suitable for both type of projects, like legacy and modern projects. So you could choose, you could find any features which you want in Java. So I don't think that something bad would happen with Java next decade. Okay. Next question. 1 minute. What a junior should know about JVM? What should senior? Oh, okay. I spent a lot of time for interviewing people, like internal interview in our company and external interview for our company. And I always ask some questions about JVM. And these questions actually are the same for juniors and seniors, but the answers are very different. For example, I suppose that juniors should know what is bytecode or class loader or memory management and garbage collection, but in general view. A senior, he should know it more deeper. For example, he should know some algorithms of garbage collecting and or how to change the default garbage collector. Also, it is required to have some experience with debugging tools like Visual VM or JSTAT. So I suppose the main difference is in experience. So juniors should know some theory, but seniors should know how to use this theory in the practice. Okay. Next question actually is very interesting. What is tired compilation? Okay. Before we begin to understand what is tired compilation, we should know something about compilations level in Java. In Java, there are two compilators. C1, it's for C1 is client-side compilator, and C2 is server-side compilator. Also, it is interpreter, which compilate our code when it was first compilation. So tired compilation, it's automatic tool which understand which part of code should be compiled with which compiler. Because client compiler, it is better, it is fast to start, but if we have, for example, some method called a lot of times, I'll call it a lot of times, this should be compiled with server compilator, and it will be faster. And Java has mechanism in their hotspot JVM, which called tired compilation, which understand which method should be compiled, which code should be compiled via C1 compilator, which via C2 compilator. It automatically understands after getting some information about performance from compiler. So it is the way of optimization our application. So if some code will run a lot, it should be compiled with C2 compiler, and it will automatically do with Java. Actually, you could find more information via this link. I send it to chat. It is also from that my favorite service Builden. Okay. Next question. What's the real use of Java records? Okay, Java records, they were introduced in Java 14 and become finalized in Java 16. Records, it's like immutable class with immutable data class with some boilerplate code like getters, setters, equals, hash code, toString. It's like Lombok, if you hear about it, but from the box. And actually, I often use records to create some DTOs. So if you ask about real use, so DTOs, it's a good way to use records, actually. Okay, move on. How to make Java code easily testable? It's a complex question because for testing, we should follow a lot of different things. For example, we should follow solid principles. We should use dependency injection. We should use interfaces, segregate our concerns, should follow dry principles, so don't repeat yourself. And of course, it's better to use composition over inheritance, and some frameworks like JUnit frameworks or Mockn frameworks. Actually, I'm not sure what to add. You just need to follow a lot of things to do your to make your code easy to test, because there are I saw a lot of code which was very difficult to test, because for example, they had some big classes which not followed solid principles, which wasn't also it's very difficult to test with I forgot, with strong coupling. So when we don't use dependency injection, when we create our object with new operator, it's very difficult to test. Maybe the most difficult question for me is difference between Java models in JDK 11, but as I remember, Java models were introduced in JDK 9, but okay, and traditional class paths. When we should use models in our project, what are their benefits? Okay, so before Java 9, the JDK and GRA were monolithic, and they their size was very large, more than 100 megabytes. So when Java 9 introduced models, they split JDK into, as I remember, more than 70 modules. And when you create your own project, you shouldn't upload all the models. You just need to download that models which you need. For example, some utils, some Java core utils, multithreading, and that's it. It's everything which you want. And you don't, your application won't use other libraries. So it will help with your productivity of your application. Also, there are 4 types of models. System models, it is which we get from Java. It's like Java base or Java SQL. Application models, which you created. Automatic models, it's what was created by Java automatically when you get some library to your project. And unnamed models, it's these models exports all its packages that requires to all other models, including automatic models. The model system helps us to pretend our application with, I know if you hear about such problem like jar help. It's when you in your application you include 2 libraries, and each library has another libraries, the same libraries but with different version, and this version can be downcast. So when you run your application will fail that because of different version of the same library. And actually modeling helps us to solve this problem. And also modeling help us to solve a problem with reflection, because if you know, until Java 9, we could do almost everything with reflection. For example, we could change some field from private to public, and we will do this via reflection. But when we use models, it helps us to protect our encapsulation. And the main difference between ClassPass and ModulPass, actually it is the same, but ClassPass it's for just Java application, all Java application, and ModulPass is for newer application which supports modules. So ClassPass it's the best for legacy project, and ModulPass it's newer, and it is better for some new projects to implement new features of encapsulation. Okay, so I hope you understand this my answer, and we'll proceed. What should I know about Java version history? Actually, I'm not sure what to answer for this question, because I don't think that I know Java history very well, and I'm not sure that everybody should know it very good. But you should know some features when they were implemented. For example, generics, they came with Java 5. Annotation also came with Java 5. In Java 8, we got stream IP, lambdas. Java 9 came with modules and a new default garbage collector, JFirst. Records came with Java 14. Two new garbage collectors were introduced in Java 15. I suppose you should be familiar with LTS version, long-term support versions of Java, such as Java 8, Java 11, Java 17, and the most recent Java 21. So, okay, next question. Which other language teaches you the most after you learned Java? Okay, actually, I tried a lot of different languages, including C and Dart, but I love Java. I can tell you that I mastered Java completely, because it continually evolves and introduces new features, the same as Spring Framework. Actually, currently my focus is on studying cloud providers, and I aim to get an AWS Solution Architect certification. Also, I can code with Node.js, and I had some experience with front-end frameworks like Angular and React, but I don't like front-end. So backend and Java, it's for me are the best. Maybe Python it's also good. I tried it, and maybe I will concentrate in the future after getting certification in AWS in studying Python, because I'm interested in machine learning, and maybe in some point of time I will switch to that. Okay, next question. Which Java features seem to be popular among the beginners but not experienced developers? Okay, it's a tricky question. It's not tricky, interesting question. And actually, maybe one thing which beginners like to use and experienced developers don't like, and it is Lombok, surprisingly. Because Lombok, it is library which help us to not to write boilerplate code like getters, setters, some builders, and so on. It is useful in some cases, but in sometimes it could create some problems. For example, on my project, I had some problems with Lombok and AOP libraries. So, for example, I started to create application. I decided to use Lombok. I created application with Lombok, but then I decided to add some error handling and email sending to our application. And I started to get a lot of exception because of Lombok, because that our custom library used, which sends emails, it used AOP. And after I spent few days on this issue, and I couldn't find the solution. So I decided to remove Lombok from my project at all. And yes, and now that project doesn't have Lombok. So yeah, maybe it's not sometimes you couldn't use Lombok in your projects, and you should know about this. Okay, move on. Do you know any must-have generic libraries that everyone should consider using in their project? It depends on your project. I know maybe you should use some Apache common libraries like Common Lang 3 or Common Collections. It depends on your project. For sure, you should use some logging libraries such as SL4j or Log4j. Maybe you should use some parsing libraries such as Jackson or JSON. For testing, of course, you should use JUnit and Makita. So maybe this is the most common libraries which are used almost in all projects which I worked. What's your favorite recent feature that everyone should start using? Maybe records. I think it is records, and we have already spoken about it, so I won't stop again here. Which tools added to JDK do you find the most useful? On my opinion, the most useful JDK tools, it is Java troubleshooting tools, troubleshooting, profiling, monitoring, like GCMD, JConsole, JVisual VM. Maybe these tools I used more often than others. Okay, next question. Why should I prefer Kotlin over Java? Why shouldn't? Unfortunately, I don't have enough experience with Kotlin. I worked with it more than 5 years ago when I was Android developer. And in few words, Kotlin might be a better choice for new project, especially Android apps. Or if you are looking for some programming sugar. But on the other hand, if you are working on existing project, or if stability is prioritized for you, so Java will be a good choice, because Java, it is about stability. Okay, next question. What surprised you the most about Java when you learned it? Okay. Actually, maybe as a question which I have for guys who developed Java, it's why we could call a static method with instance which is null. Okay, I will explain. For example, we have a class which has a static method there. Then we decided to create the instance of that class and set it to null. After that, we invoke that static method from that null instance, and we won't receive null pointer exception because the method is static and Java will call it. But it is so for me, it's not good. It's bad for understanding. Sometimes it's you shouldn't write code such way, and I don't know why Java developers decided to do this way. Maybe it's better to call static method only from class and without any calls from object. Okay. It is interesting question. What Java developers should know about design and architectural patterns? Could you list most important for us? Of course, you should be familiar with Golf patterns. First of all, it is creational patterns like singleton, prototype, builder, factory methods, abstract factory, structural. It is adapter, bridge, composite, decorator, facade, flyweight, proxy. What else? Behavioral patterns. It is chain of responsibility, command, iterator, mediator, memento, observer, strategy, and maybe some else. What else? A visitor, and few more. Okay. I don't think that it is required to know exactly how to implement each of these patterns, but you should know how this pattern works and when it is better to use them. Actually, I have good resource with Golf patterns, and I send it to chat. I was studying patterns with this resource. Okay, what else? Also, you should be familiar with MVC pattern, of course, because it is the most common pattern in our sorry. Because in this seek pattern, it is the most common pattern in Java web development. And it separates an application into three components: model, view, and controller, and you should know how they work. Also, you should know layered architecture, which divides the application into layers such as presentation, business logic, and data access layer. Each of these layers has specific responsibilities and could communicate only with their neighborhood. And of course, you should know some microservices pattern, for example, synchronous, asynchronous communication, IP gateway, Saga pattern, and event-driven architecture. Maybe that's it. It's the most common design and architecture patterns which we should know. Okay, next question. How to handle exception in Java web app? When I read this question first, I didn't know what to say, because I just wanted to say just regular as always using try catch, but there is in web application, if we using Spring, there is good tools which we can handle our methods exceptions in Java. First of all, you should create your. Let's begin with some example. For example, with validating field. We should create some custom runtime exception. For example, we can call it validation exception. Then wrap the call of our validation methods with try catch block. And after that, we could create class which will have annotation exception. Sorry, not exception handler, which will have annotation. The name of class we could call exception handler, but put above annotation controller advice, and create some method, for example, handle exception, which will get our custom exception there. And under above this method, we should write another annotation exception handler, and which in parameters we should add our exception which we created. Okay. So I will send you some example in chat. How it should look like. And this when our exception was thrown, will be thrown, this method will be called, and we could send some information to our user of which kind of exception we have and some error status. Okay, next one. How to write unit test in Java web app. Actually, I suppose that we have already spoken about it. So you should you should follow a lot of rules. But if you want, for now, if you use JUnit, it's very easy to create your test. You just need to create. You just need to put your dependencies, JUnit dependencies, in your conf file. Then create some class, create some method and put annotation test, and this it will be the most simplest test without anything. But of course, you should write some logic, call your service method, and test your logic with expected result and actual result. Sometimes it is required to mock other services which your service use. You could do this with using a Makita library. I also have the link with from Bildung with the best practice of Java unit testing. I'll send you. Okay, next one. I only used Java 8 and Spring 2.5.5. I want to switch to Java 11 Plus and Spring Boot 3 Plus. Do you have any advice on how to do it easily? No, I don't have any advice how to do it easily, because it depends on project. For example, few times ago, I migrated one application to Java 17 from Java 8, and I spent about an hour for this. Maybe a bit more, because I was waiting for a new whip, but for coding I spent less than 1 hour. I just changed the POM, GitLab CI, requested new whip, and deployed it. That's it. But for example, we have another application in our on our project, and it's more complex, and it is legacy application with a big amount of code lines. And my teammate is working on migrating this application from Java 8 to Java 17, and he has been working for 2 months, and actually he doesn't have any good news about it, and we don't sure even if it is possible to move that application to new Java, because there are a lot of dependencies and there are a lot of conflicts. So it depends on your application. If application is small and easy, I suppose it is very easy to do. If your application is legacy, it would be very difficult. Okay, we have a few more questions. Okay. Can you explain streams and lambdas, what they are and when to use them? Okay, both streams and lambdas were introduced in Java 8. And streams API, it is some modern edition which came with Java 8, and it provides a very easy way to manipulate with some collections and with data, like in functional programming. Streams are not data structures, but we work with data with streams. Streams has 2 types of operators: is intermediate operator like filter, map, or sort, and a terminal operator like collect, for each, sum, reduce. So for example, I will send you in chat some code and we'll explain it. So, for example, we have some list of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we decided to work with this list with streams. So first of all, we call a stream method, and then we call intermediate method filter and put there some lambda. So it means that we should find all integers, all odd or odd or even. I don't remember. I mean, 2, 4, 6. So we should find all integers which are divided by 2 without any which could divide for 2 without rest. I know this word. Okay, then we use another method map and another lambda n and n multiple n. So it will create something like square of our integers. So first of all, we find integers 2 and 4 because they divide on 2 without any oh my god, without reminder. And then we map it to multiply to this integer, so to find the square. So and is the last operator, it's collector to list. So in the end, we will have the list of integers squared. So we will have 4 and 16 there. Next, it's not question about lambda. Lambda also came with Java 18, and it is the way to some other way to use anonymous classes. For example, before Java 8, if we want to run some runnable class, we should have written this code. So we should create new thread, new runnable with public void run, browser hello world, and call method start. But with Lambda, it is more easy to do. We just could write this way. So it means that new thread will get it is the same. The code, it is the same. We could create our own functional interface. It is interfaces which has only one method, like runnable. And for example, we could create some functional interface multiplication and write the same code, very similar code to this using Lambda. Okay, I hope it is clear. And next question: I am currently in an internship. How should I behave in order to get the job? So I just could suggest you to continue your studies and get the best marks during your internship defenses. And of course, you should have good English, because English is very important. Because I had some experience that my intern didn't get a job offer because he's English. So just study, improve your Java knowledge and improve your English. So if you want to get job after internship. And so what else we have? We have just 2 more question, I suppose. Yes, Java licensing. It's actually I don't know what to say. Just we have few different JDKs. It's Oracle JDK and Open JDK. Oracle JDK, it was introduced like some subscription. You should pay for it if you want to use Java for business. But for personal use, you could use Oracle JDK for free. OpenJDK and Oracle JDK also supports different version of Java, even Java 8, as I remember. But you should pay for it. OpenJDK, it is open source project which has the same functionality as Oracle JDK, but it is for free, but without any support. So if your business needs support, you should use Oracle JDK. If not, you could try OpenJDK. And maybe last question for now from Easy Retro. One moment, it is, what is more important to follow, patterns or solid principles? Of course, solid principles, maybe it is the most important, which we have in Java. Solid, it is the most important. So patterns, it is solution of some problems. Solid, it is the basement of programming. So, maybe that's it. I suppose I don't see any other questions. So I will check also chat in. Okay. So maybe that's it. I don't have any other questions. Ola, do you hear?
Yeah, thank you so much. I guess we need to wait maybe a few more minutes.
Okay.
So if you have any questions, you could leave them here in chat and we will answer them. So I don't see any questions in.
Me too.
So thank you so much for your speech and bye.
Thank you. Okay.
Everyone.
So, bye everyone.